All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful tools any educator can have in their toolkit. We're talking about reflective teaching. This is the real game changer, the thing that turns your everyday classroom experiences into genuine, lasting professional growth.
So you have to wonder, right? How do the great teachers actually become great? Is it some kind of innate talent they're just born with? Or is there something more to it? Well, we're going to explore a very specific, intentional process that suggests greatness is a skill that anyone can learn and master.
And really, this is the core idea for today. The path to becoming a more effective teacher isn't about burning yourself out or just working harder. It's about building a habit of deliberate, focused reflection. It's about thinking smarter.
Okay, so first things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page. What exactly do we mean when we talk about being a reflective teacher?
Here's the key. This is not just a casual, how did that lesson go kind of thought. It's a systematic process of analyzing your own choices. So for example, instead of just thinking, well, that lesson felt flat, you'd ask yourself, what specific choice did I make that led to lower engagement in the second half of the class? See the difference? It's about moving from just reacting to things to responding with real intention.
The key word in all of this is why. A reflective teacher is almost like a detective in their own classroom, constantly asking, why did that one activity work so well? Why did that particular student struggle? And, the most important question of all, what could I do differently next time? That last question, that's the one that really drives improvement.
Okay, so we get the what, but how do we actually do it? Let's look at some super practical models and tools you can start using, like right now, to build this reflective habit.
So the brilliant thinker Donald Schoen gave us these two fantastic concepts. First, there's reflection in action. That's the real-time thinking on your feet stuff. You notice a student looks confused and you immediately change your explanation on the spot. Then there's reflection on action. That's what you do after the bell rings, sitting down and really thinking through the entire lesson. And here's the cool part. Your reflection on action makes you way better at reflection in action next time. You absolutely need both to be effective.
Now, for that after-the-fact reflection, Gibbs Cycle is just an incredible framework. What makes it so powerful is that it forces you to go way beyond just describing what happened. It pushes you to think about your feelings, evaluate things objectively, and then, crucially, analyze the root causes. But that final step, the action plan, that's the magic. It's what stops reflection from just being some academic exercise and turns it into concrete professional development. It completely closes the loop from experience to improvement.
So where do you do all this thinking? Honestly, a teaching journal is one of the easiest and most powerful tools out there. It's your own private space to write down your successes, untangle challenges, and actually watch yourself evolve as a teacher over time. It's not a report for someone else, it's a conversation with yourself.
But let's be real, we can't always see ourselves clearly. That's where peer observation comes in. Getting a trusted colleague to come watch your class isn't about being judged, it's about getting a fresh set of eyes on your practice. They can help you see blind spots and new possibilities that you might never, ever notice on your own.
Now, to make peer observation actually work, the feedback is everything. It has to be specific and descriptive, like, I noticed 3 students were talking during the instructions, not judgmental, like, your class was unfocused. The whole goal here is to build each other up, not tear each other down.
Okay, ready to take this one step further? What if you could turn your reflections into a little mini research project right inside your own classroom? This is where something called action research comes in.
Now, don't let the word research scare you off. This is super small scale, it's practical, and it's designed for you by you. It's all about taking a problem you've noticed and systematically testing out a solution. It really empowers you to become the leading expert on your own students.
And the process is really straightforward. You can see the cycle here. You identify a real problem, you plan a specific change, and this is critical, you gather some kind of data to see if your change actually worked. And that data can be as simple as observation notes or a quick student poll. It's just a really powerful way to make evidence-based decisions for your classroom.
The crucial thing to remember is that your research question can be super simple and focused. You're not trying to solve the world's educational crises here. You're just trying to figure out if changing the group makeup improves participation in your third period class. It's tangible, it's focused, and it's incredibly powerful.
So, we've got the models, we've got the tools, but honestly, none of it matters if it doesn't lead to real change. This final part is all about bridging that gap between just thinking about our teaching and actually improving it.
This cycle right here is the engine of improvement. Your reflection helps you set a small, realistic goal. Then you try out a new strategy. The key is to then observe what happens and use that information to tweak your approach. It's this continuous loop of reflect, try, observe, adjust that leads to real, sustainable growth. It keeps you from just randomly trying new things and hoping for the best.
And what's the ultimate result of all this work? Well, it's professional autonomy. You are no longer just following a curriculum or doing things because that's how they've always been done. You are making informed, evidence-based decisions about your own practice. And that builds an incredible amount of confidence.
I just love this quote because it captures the spirit of reflective practice so perfectly. It elevates teaching from a job you just do to a craft you are constantly honing and perfecting. It makes the work dynamic, exciting, and truly purposeful.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. You don't have to overhaul everything tomorrow. Just start with one question. After your very next class, what's the first thing you'll ask yourself? That single question. That's where the whole journey begins.